he mwanake ũmwe wakorire mũthuri mũkũrũ. Anake a thikũ ici he ũndũ marenja njuĩrĩ gũkũ mĩena magabĩra haha igũrũ. Agĩthiĩ kwa mũthuri mũkũrũ akĩmwĩra ndokai, mũtiuge ĩ, tondũ ndĩrenda kũhikia mũirĩtu waku. Na nĩ arĩaga mĩraa. Andũ arĩa marĩaga mĩraa koragwo maimbĩte ikai mwena ũmwe. So this man akĩmũria atĩrĩrĩ, we ũhana ũguo ũhikie mũirĩtu wakwa? You want to marry my daughter looking like that? And mwanake ũyũ akĩmwĩra ĩ, na to mĩraa hũthagĩra. Actually mĩraa nĩyo ndawa iria cia thĩ mũno hũthagĩra. Nĩngucagia bangi na nĩnyuaga ndawa ingĩ ciĩtagwo kuber na he ĩngĩ ĩtagwo madrax ona no hũthagĩra. Mũthuri akĩmũria, na ũrenda kũhikia mũirĩtu wakwa? Mwanake akĩmwĩra ĩni, na to ũguo, ona nĩ hĩndĩ ndĩraumire njera. Njarĩ njera mĩaka 4 ngai 8. Mũtiuge ĩ? Ĩ. Na ũrenda mũirĩtu wakwa? Ĩ. Njera nakuo rĩ? Mũtiuge ĩ? Wathiĩte weka atĩ? Njera rĩ, ugai ĩ? Ndathiĩte ĩ? Ngakora mũthuri tawe ĩ? Ngamwĩra ndenda kũhikia mũirĩtu wake ĩ? Akĩngiria ĩ? Ngĩmũraga. Korwo hena mũthuri ta mũirĩtu, korwo no ũngĩekire atĩ? I want to say I am happy to be here. My name is Joseph. I serve at St. Luke's, Sigona. So we're in the same archdeaconry. I teach at Daystar. I teach at Africa Nazarene in the Faculty of Psychology by the grace of God. Praise the Lord. Do mutugatiri mugai ni akijuririe njoke we share a few words this day that so many people are celebrating love. And one of the things that I consistently tell my students when I'm teaching them, and I want to start by saying that I'm in the mental health faculty. I mean the mental health ni warawa mesirerie notiga kuinama ndingĩgũthoma ũrĩa ũreciria. When some people hear that you are either in psychology or psychiatry, they think you can read somebody's mind. No, I cannot read your mind. But maybe when you talk about what is going on in your life, we can be able to figure out what are some of the patterns that are making you behave the way you are behaving. Praise the Lord. I want to start on a very sad note, even though it's the day of love, that the state of mental health in this country, even as we talk about families today, is very depressing. The president one time said that mental health has, I think it's last year, mental health has become a crisis. In 2017, there were about 438 cases of people who are recorded to have committed suicide. So those statistics may not be very accurate, but what is very sad to note is that about 380 of those people, they were men. So from around 480, around 360 were men, gentlemen, boy child. And some other statistics that were released some other time last year indicated that out of every 10 funerals that you attend, out of 10, 8 are going to be men and only 2 are going to be women. If you are seated next to a man, today is Valentine's Day, spread the word of love and tell that man, we need to refuse to die from foolish death. We need to refuse dying foolish deaths. Talk to a brother. Please talk to a brother. We have to refuse. And I was told to talk about basically what is happening in our families, and I don't want to take so much time, but I want to start here. One of the major reasons why we are having crisis in our homes, and we are having crisis wherever we are, is because we don't seem to have known each other. And before we even know each other, we don't know who we are. Why do you behave the way you do? Why do you talk to your husband the way you talk to him? If this lady who is next to you looks like she's married, ask her, why do you talk to your husband the way you do? And if you're seated to a gentleman who looks like he has a wife, ask him this question. Why do you talk to your wife the way you do? Don't worry, ask her. Why? Why? And I also want you to ask them this question. Why are you living together, with your husband and with your people, or you are dying together? Are you living together or dying together? And even your children, are you living together or dying together? Did I hear dying together? Thank you for the honesty. Because we can speak life to that dying relationship. If you ask my students, one of the things they are going to tell me is that one of the statements I tell them, and I use this statement a lot, is that human beings are a product of their socialization. They are a product of their upbringing. Gima yumaga mutuine. Duokorowe niwe gima na dina weta oru etago muhiano okorowe niwe gima wiyori atiri muturia wa dugire muturia wa dugire ni na bemwe ni igire ni githeye kana gathirikari ndey itatu ni dari gathirikari ni ndewire gekoru by the way. Yes, I was there, brother. And you know that very well. Toruja Muriganeti, Hana Mutuna Basivan. What the wrong word? And you know what they say? Mutune environment area to Akure, and they say numbers do not lie. Now listen to this. Statistics are showing that more than 80% of the Kenyan households, more than 80% of Kenyan households are dysfunctional homes. Do you know what a dysfunctional home is? A dysfunctional home. Most of us have actually grown in dysfunctional homes. Kuhure. Mamu anyu. Birore hedria wari munini. Mamu anyo githie gwataniro ya Mothers Union we niwe mukuru kwanyu na nierenda gukwiro urore ciana handu akwire kia wega mugai witu urore ciana ndathie mahoya ndagiota gukwira kia wega because she's also a product of another dysfunctional unit. Wera gwatia ngure mucinite mwana ndore kanci mutugire mwana actually, the meaning should be opposite. You should be able to figure out yourself. When she says this, she's communicating that I should be careful with the children. But she's not telling you to break the cup. Is she telling you to break the cup? No. She actually wanted you to stop. But because of where she was coming from, she cannot bring herself to use a proper language. You know very well you need to clean your uniforms. When she's reminding you, she cannot remind you properly. Uniform you are mutika hore. Rosunu mukajekira mugebisu. Kiubika you na mutika kira go. doka hoye nemo kodi na dia modi. Tani kata mnikule. Why were they talking like that? Why nemo kwa na mutigeda be? Atizo woka niya kumosona mule. How would you even pronounce some words? How? Then you wonder why our children are talking like that. I have 3 children, and I see them before they go to school. Most of us here, we never went to private schools, did we? No, I did not. I went to a public school. There was no luxury of school buses. Our children these days are picked there. I see my children hugging me in the morning, wishing me a good day. Makihagati, I don't want you to go. But there's warmth. When hug you, okay, have a good day. But is she telling you to walk in the middle of the road? No. She's actually telling you, be careful, my son, be careful, my daughter. That's why some of us have grown up bitter people. We are bitter, we are angry. I sat yesterday with a girl who went to Alliance Girls. And one day in the office, she's only 25. And one of the senior managers looked at her. Akimuria Trade, by the way, what are your dreams and what are your aspirations? What is your plan, 5 years plan? That girl could not say anything. And this lady told her, take this number, call this guy, you need help. She came in for therapy. Why? Because even if she's very well educated as a person, she's stuck. The things she was told, the things she saw, the things she experienced. She only has the book knowledge. But these are the things she doesn't have. What were you told? What were you told? And it's no wonder we have come to where we are. That is number 1. Number 2, why people are having it. I just want to speak a bit of self-awareness. We know ourselves. Because when you know yourself, you don't even care what people think and say about you. When you know that you are right with yourself and with your God, you know you can move mountains. You can become what you want to become. The other thing is that we are either men or women. If you are a man, lift up your hand. Praise the Lord. Boy child. Girl child. The way we raise our boys and our girls is different. And you need to understand that. And one of the reasons why we are likely, and unfortunately, other statistics show that a woman, for example, if I am married and I am married, if I am not careful and I do not manage my stress levels, I am likely going to die and my wife is going to outlive me for between 20 and 30 years. They even become more, they tedera more. Why? Because there's a way culture raised us that has made us to be people who are carrying so much. And we are dying before our time because of the things that we are taking in. Let's start here. Our men have been socialized that you cannot express and talk about what you're going through. You can't talk about your difficulties. That is why boys are going to do anything to ensure that they insist on being in a relationship with a girl. They would rather kill somebody else's daughter, because if I go to my boys and tell them that I've been rejected, they're going to laugh at me. They're going to tell me I'm not man enough. They're going to tell me that I cannot amount to anything much. And it starts from the socialization. Look at even the toys we buy our boys. If you have a son, which are some of the toys you're going to buy your son? A toy gun, isn't it? A douche gun. What else? A car. Now, every man has a dream of owning a car. No akinya miaka ukona gakari gatiroka. You begin to panic. If you're in your 40s or 50s and you've not yet bought a car, and your son, who is maybe 5 or 6 or even younger, asks you to buy him a toy car, you get very excited. Because subconsciously, when you're walking into Fairmart supermarket just across to pick that toy car, subconsciously you are telling Garia few hours. You know, you as a man, as a grown man. Now I know kamusi weraga kimwana gyaku ikara mwanoyo na kyoge ikara mwanoyo mukaja we, you know, the boy in you kicks in. Mukaja we ikaniria gakari gaka na twarora muno we muthuri, you overstay with this toy car because you're meeting your own needs. You feel like you're actually driving a real car. What you do not know is that you're meeting subconscious needs of owning a car, because it is associated with prestige and conquering. My brother, whether you have one or not, thank God that you have a pulse. If you have no reason to thank God, just put your hand here. What do you feel? What do you feel? Or here, what do you feel? You don't need a car. You don't need a big house. Provided you have that pulse, you have more than what you think you need. Praise the Lord. What else do we buy them? Footballs, isn't it? Bicycles. What else? These days we are getting them phones. We're also getting them the PlayStation. So they are spending so much time doing that. When you look at those toys, they nurture something we call competition. When I have a football, I'm likely going to go to the field. If the ball is mine, I'm going to divide those boys into two. So when we get in the playfield, we do not take time to talk to each other, to nurture each other. What are we doing? We compete against each other. And that's why you look at us men and you realize that we are very, very competitive. Saturday, head down. When a man is not talking, it's because of them. No. Then when you wake up the following morning on Sunday, that's when you realize why he was upset. I cannot imagine that man you know Everton. The source of his stress was not you. Because women don't understand. Because of our socialization, when we see trouble as men, we do not come out. We coil in and go to a shell like a snail, because that is what society taught us. My dad, and I start to cry. What would my mother tell me? Why are you crying like? God, why are you crying like a woman? What is that statement telling me? Is that if I feel pain, I should not bring it out. I should man up. Caroline she got to become depressed. Or they take the law to their hands. They kill somebody else's daughter. If you're sitting next to a young man, and I can see a few there, we have three brother, ukiwachwa, utika. Maybe. But he didn't kill anybody, did you? No. And when you look at the other side, girls are talking to their Barbie dolls, to their imaginary families. That's why women are nurturers. That's why they thrive well in professions that involve nurturing. That's why they know how to express love. That's why they talk more. That's why their groupings are going to do better than ours, because they have the skills that they learned earlier. Women like watching programs that have relationships with them. Don't be surprised to find a daughter and a mother seated
makirora kukubagia ukaigwa mutumia era mwari atere tiga wanega kihikio tiga wana ndia kwira. They thrive in that. And that's why to them Valentine's is a big deal. It's a day of love. Who is wearing red here today? Who is more dressed towards Valentine if you compare men and women? You know, I'm gonna make it black and white. You know, because Marari go, what are this? We have the lavish. Because first of all, they don't get it. What is this we are expressing? What are we talking about? I never experienced it. I was not ready. Nikikwira wati modroma moge kwira kwiraga I love you. Mwahikania asoka gakwira kukikagaroroka no ukamenya no wikare owewe mwende. Komwa kadide kwira every day atenye kwende. Weigoro ukamenya tikwenda gwake gimayumaga mutu. He has no idea and you cannot give what you don't have, but you can learn to give it and express it. I just want you to understand the person you live with. You manage your expectations. Realize that the first most important love is love of self. So our girls grow up knowing that it's okay to express yourself. And that's why a study that was done in Harvard University revealed that before one day comes to an end, a normal woman, like the ones who are seated here, a normal woman is going to use 25,000 words. It is around 11:20 now. If you are seated next to a lady, how many? And you see, there is power in their talking. That's why, because through their talking, they express how they feel, isn't it? Something we struggle with. Chances are they will start the fellowship late. Why? Yes. Why? They first of all talk about us and the stress we are giving them. My brother. And then, there's a way women laugh. They have their signature way of laughing. So how you correct? By the time he's coming back, she has the stress has dissipated a bit. The society told you mwanaume ni kujikaza, mwanaume ni bidii, mwanaume ni effort, mwanaume ni pesa. Siamasia tumia madhi masa mani ya moga nisirigi 50 matishokaga na thutha. And they start. My Maria knew agwitu sigona. Mabiririo ni atumia. Before I got the connection, I had to pay 40,000 shillings. They managed sleep. They started with 50 shillings per member. They are now stress because they have this gene of competition and they want to showcase that we are men, and sometimes they go out of their way to try and prove this point that they are men. If you're sitting next to a man, mwambie brother, fungua roho, ni vizuri kuongea. why we are having issues? Because we don't understand each other. Because if my wife was socialized that it's okay to talk, and I look at her talking, and I see it as nagging, and I see not even more by the way. Sometimes you also need to consider. Yeah? Because you also need to ask yourself, it's okay, yes, to use these 25,000 words, but how many of the 25,000 words are going to build, are going to lift this person? Because the other thing is, yes, as men, we were taught that we need to go out there and conquer. But it's not as easy as it sounds. It's difficult. And that's why one of the most important emotional needs for a man is when your wife looks at you and admires you for who you are, admiring your masculinity and telling you, you are a great father, you are a great provider. If you're sitting next to a woman, when was the last time you spoke a word of encouragement to your husband? This boy child. When was the last time? Because the reason why, especially as men, yes, we are dying those premature deaths, is because we are like that. When a man has something, he has friends. Some people lost their jobs. Those people you are calling your friends, they leave you. And what do? They go hang out with others who have, and they make you a subject of discussion. They don't come to your rescue. So your friends are not with you. Mpango wa kando is hunting you down. Your mother is hunting you down. Your wife is hunting you down. If you do not have a solid support system as a man, loneliness, depression is going to take you away. But I'm sorry to say here that one of the reasons why we are suffering from serious depression is because of you, our wives. It's because of what you're doing to us. You need to understand us, even if you don't seem to figure out what we are saying. You need to understand that every time we are in a crisis, we are not very, very expressive people. We go to the shell like a snail. No, igani mona to igira shell ni muisida gyate ati ni nyo mwatoma. Mugato kirira. Kaji kabiri iryogo. Kahora bara ya heho. Gabaga hotada. And of course the other ngara, when you know what I'm talking about. Adili mokoro. Ukano maja. Ganitone depression. I start looking for that companionship out there. And if I get it, I'm still suffering from serious low self-esteem issues. They are dying in the line of duty. Did I know of duty? They have suffered serious low self-esteem. They cannot even function sexually. They are feeling some type of way. So they go to the pharmacist, they get the blue pill, and they take it. Some of us are living with lifestyle diseases we do not know. Maybe you are diabetic, you don't know. Maybe you have pressure issues, you do not know. Then you go and you escalate the situation by taking the blue pill. Now the social media magakwiraga uyo ni veteran. He died in the line of duty. It may sound funny, but it's not funny. Serious. Bwana asifiwe. Mother nini wedo. But when was the last time you told your husband you love him? When was the last time? Let me tell you. Even when you see us manning up and playing strong, we desire and we deserve to go to a place where we can at least for once feel vulnerable. And that place is home. But half the time, We do not get that chance. Tumie giha kwa sababu tunashia nani turarera. You can see people who have not even spoken to each other for a whole month or week. Natumia to matiwa tawo kira wona ndaigira ugetwa ni kana gaitu ka mieri 5 rariri na gatiara gigatiwe kwaria wona ndaigira ukajia kwira mwana mam okone kaitwa mababa usijali wapende wasipende tutatoboa lazima shetani ashinde. Of course I will know you are targeting me. I will know. Hemudhuri makarani na mutumia wake magithie kanitha rucini. Na makarani ile mutumia ni moraga ciuria very strange. Ati huyo arakire rori yake rangi wa blue niki. And they expect us to have answers. Era mudhuri muriganiti. You must have answers for the questions. Where were you? Rori rakiro blue niki. Maybe it's because the sky is blue. How no no get your kid. So how I owe me the how Maggie Canada. He was very surprised. Utumia hawete wida na roipo. Ndigo meko ngadani ile garini. So when she got there, akiuga jitawo Gloria Wajiro na dina roipo ni kugosa mwadhani na roipo. Augire dina roipo na itana inare. Nikuda kwaria uhoro wa mundurume. Ai akiambia batoni ni kareti ogore akiambia kumiria mutwe. Na kiuga mundurume oyo ni mundu wa bata muno tondu maisha makwa matire makororia mari. Akiumiria mutwe soka riwa kirora muthuru wake street ira mbere ndamurora na mundurume ira ndirari uhoro wake hi Jesu mwana wake nikumugathiriria na rwiko kirora muthuru wake street kiga agemo igaga ne agima butine no neke akinya hawa kiwa nithagio mutungatiri ni ndarikia message ni akinya mucie no era goti mugima na tuwa mugima haya. The reason I'm talking about that is because we need to understand who we are. Sometimes the way we talk, we may hurt, we may injure without knowing. Remember what I said? We are products of our socialization. You're likely going to bring that in your family or marriage. You may think that maybe this person is sabotaging you, but maybe not. Maybe they don't have the social skills to engage. So seek to understand this person. Listen. This is what I tell women. Talk to us. Don't assume that we know everything. We are also vulnerable. Try to understand us, even if what we are saying does not make sense. Sometimes we struggle to put words across because some of us also grew up with passive fathers. We saw fathers who never spoke, and we thought that keeping quiet is okay. But now we are realizing that this keeping quiet is sending us to early graves because we are getting depressed. We do not know how to express how we feel. And when I die, do not think that you're going to feel very good. You will miss me even if I was not a very good person. The gap that is occupied by a man is a significant gap. And do not take each other for granted the way we've been reduced to do, taking others for granted. Adhuri na idhuere. We need to understand this. The most important need for our women, those of us who are married, the most important need is affection. And sometimes you don't make an effort. And love is not a word. It's action. It's in the doing. It's in the way you look at her. It's in the way you talk to her. It's in the way you touch her, because touch is good and it is godly. I don't know how many of you have physiotherapist kana masu, itawa masu, ama massage. Whereas there's a partner who can do that work. But goma, it's not. Now, signs of a dying relationship is when the frequency of touch reduces in that relationship. If you're not touching as much as you used to when you're married, brother, sister, those are red flags in your relationship. If you're sitting next to a man, when was the last time you told your spouse, you're beautiful, I like your hair? When was the last time? It's in the small things, it's not in the big things. This body is full of nerve endings. And God made this body with these nerve endings because those nerve endings are sensitive to touch. There's a response that comes out of our bodies when we are touched with loving arms. That's why it is good to touch your children, especially when they are young. That's why a child who does not receive touch when they are young, they become irritable and grumpy, even as adults. Because nobody communicated love and affection to this person. That's why we are raising bitter, angry children, because we do not spend time with them. Some study that was done by an organization called Transform Nations, a father who lives and works in Nairobi is likely going to spend only 7 minutes on average with his children every day. 7 minutes. Will these 7 minutes be enough to inculcate values in my children? It's no wonder we have children who have turned against their teachers. Very angry children. Why? Because they don't feel loved, they don't feel appreciated, they don't feel accepted. They are looking for attention and they are looking for warmth from the wrong people and from the wrong places. And because they are not feeling valued, they are looking for a place to belong. So if they find a clique of hooligans, they go there. And times have changed. These children, you not bring them up the way we were raised. If you tell this generation, Muhammad's Union, magikora digiri eregeire fara mena mutumia mena kana gake digiri eregeire fara na mwene amihuraga na dia thiaga kiri tukagakiuria mamu watire kai digiri no ihonoku kai mamu wakirigo. Why are you asking such strange questions? Atana shokia kimuria kai digiri no ya Mothers Union kimuria niki atira kinga dio ngathagiria fafa. Why? Because our children do not do what we tell them to do. They do what they see us doing. Do that. And you need to consistently ask yourself, are we living together or dying together? When I look at the way I engage with my husband, are we living together or dying together? And then ask yourself, what is my role? What is my contribution in this relationship getting to where it is? Atumia merago ni historians. Ati no akugucerie fairo ya maundu maria mekikire kuma muthenya uria mwahikanirie. For women, everything is connected to everything. Danere ido cia kwa muthi tondu ira ni turarakanĩtie na iyo ni ajirite kiondo, and maybe it has got nothing to do with that. You're sitting next to a woman, sister. If you put on brown shades, will this shirt be white? What color will it be? Most probably brown, isn't it? But maybe a different shade of brown. If you put on green shades, what color will this be? Nimona igwa karogano ng'ombe ndiuni ng'ombe ciaku cia 3 kilo ni undu wa riua igikirwo miwani ya green ikiria nyeki nyumu ni mwana igwa karugano kau yes tikioherwo miwani ya green na ikiria nyeki. That's exactly what is happening in our relationships. Sorry. The issues we have swept under the carpet, they have clogged our perception. Ugiondo mwega wa muthuri waku ndungiona. Ona ungirwo mu introduce king'ang'ani ta giki. Ndungiota kuga this is my loving husband. Jumu kai. Ugaga. Ono atokiaga ndoro nake. You can't. And I was telling some other people 2 Sundays ago that churches are full of forgiven people, forgiven, who cannot forgive. How sad. Atina manama no hore wiki utari wariria muthuri wako na mutumia wako. Umuhuraga bara yayo. Na kwaria na thimo. Haduge ni urenda nyama ugurirwo ugage wirage ciana. Huko nyama rutumio na gira gatheti-ini. Haduge kimaso maso. You want to eat. Wewe kama urugagira safasi nyumu gukira maisha make no kamuhe. Nampikia chapati ngumu kushinda maisha yake. Give him. The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 13. You are gainike. You know what is love? Love is kind. Love is patient. Love is generous. Love does not keep a record of what? Wrongs. Are we kind? Are we generous? Why are we keeping a record of wrongs that is making us change the perception that we have about the other people? Why are we sending our partners to an early grave? Because when you think about this question, and I want you to think about it seriously, are we living together or dying together? Most people are killing each other slow deaths without knowing. You need to ask yourself, what baggage did I come with from where I came from? What did I bring in this family? And this day that is used to celebrate love, choose to do things the love way. Seek to understand where you're coming from and the dysfunctional patterns that you picked. Yesterday I was talking to this gentleman who was left by the mother when he was 10 years old. The mother went to the UK. He's now 38. And he has been consistently cheating on his wife. And I told him categorically, your need is not sex. Your need is not these women. Because if your need was women, you would have gotten contented with this woman you married. Your need is, you're looking for your mother from all these women. And you will not find your mother in looking for her in these women. You're looking for what you never got. There's something only a mother can give. Unconditional love, unconditional support, appreciation, validation and affirmation. He never got that. So this is a young boy, this is a man who is 38, trapped in a body of a 10-year-old man. He's fixated in his past. And he says he loves his wife. And the wife is telling him, I'm going to leave you if you do not change these things. Some of us are carrying childhood traumas. And these things are making us not to progress and become what God wants us to be. What did you pick that is sabotaging you? Also seek to understand your husband. There are some women here who came into marriage expecting their husbands to be their fathers because maybe they never had fathers. And I'm here to tell you, your husband cannot be your father. He can only be your husband. He has never raised a grown woman like you. So fix yourself. He is not responsible for your wounds. Fix yourself. Same of us. There are some men who are looking at our wives as our mothers. We didn't have a very good relationship with our mothers. And therefore we are expecting that our wives are going to double up as our wives and our mothers. It can't happen. Fix your wounds. And I was telling a friend of mine, we have to get to a point where we realize that we have to end this cycle with us. How do we end this cycle? By confronting our traumas and passing on wisdom and not wounds. Our children, there are some things our children do not have and do not need to carry. Our past hurts and our past wounds. It's in the small things. Small things. Man, woman. Even if we were not shown how to express, we like being loved and being appreciated. Don't put too much pressure on each other. Have a conversation. Ask ourselves, what is the current scenario in our relationship? What is the current scenario? Ogitwa ko describe kiko gyaku kana musi waku na adjective re. An adjective is a describing word, one word. Tamurie na mwaranirie. What adjective would you use? Ujire tugatiri mugai. Ugiro inira kihiko gyaku ri ukiherwe ball. Ukiherwe bororeku. Gruneti. I didn't see that coming. Okay, you are clearly special people. Now I better do good. Which song would you give your relationship? And I told you I'm in the mental health field. Listen to this. During COVID-19 pandemic, cases of domestic violence skyrocketed. Cases of sexual abuse skyrocketed. Cases of violence, cases of depression, cases of suicide, they went up. Why? Because COVID happened, lockdown happened. Most organizations said that people will need to work from home. But which home are we talking about? This is a home where most husbands and wives had used work as an escape. Isn't it? Maybe they would go to the booze, drinking with their friends. The other thing is, some would go and be with their mistresses and their masters. It's not only men who cheat these days, women cheat equally. It's like, man, no, really. Okay, Roma bada do gedie, kule mpago wakado wakorago. Do gedie kunywa joy nara taku. You have to share this physical space with this person you have been avoiding. And I'm telling you, if there was a time that was very difficult for most families, it's this time. But those people who took the chance to confront their issues, let us go back to the source and seek to understand what is happening. There are some people who are able to come out of this situation with new lessons and a new way of doing life. There are yado again who I had to already nagamoria today. Korohiko ikora ihana driving license. Nili niwa bore. Kana Bishop Charles oke haha ugia tirere. Adorode mahikaneti na makahika. Museparate aduri mono na atumia mwenoyo. Na soke uge hinyori ahetu ni Archbishop. Watu kaniena wako wa mo bishop. You have a right to choose. Either you go back with the same person, kana ogithie ugokurero okiuragirwo kana okiumaga ogithie, but there's no consequence that will befall you. How many people would choose the same people they've been married to? How many? How many? Na we no uge ndungithurana no igona kurauga ni ndingimuthura no tutabotigane no cio tangithurai we no uthurike we no uthurike tondu marauga ndingimuthura. I know that's the narrative, but the question is, are you choosable yourself? The way you talk, the way you do things, because when you look at it that way, you appreciate your role in this. No uthurike. Do you know you're not an easy person to live with? Do you know that? You're not. I'm not an easy person to live with, by the way. You're not. Because you're living with a person who is different from you. Even twins have some tendencies that are different. How about someone who was raised so differently from you? And there's a word that you can use that can save your marriage. It is this word called tolerance. Tolerance. Yeah, appreciating that marriage and love is for two weird people who weirdly fall in love, and their weirdness come together, and then they make a weird relationship called marriage. Are we together? There's so many other things I can't talk about. Personalities. In every marriage there is a talker, there is a listener. Who are you? In every marriage there is a spender and there is a saver. Who are you? In every marriage there is a pursuer and there is a distancer. Pursuer ni ule mwahitania mwahora wiki yakano gako gareke ndimo ikirie ka message nyone kania gucokia. No distancer. Daragia awaga hedio gine ndamwandikire rekio nake akiate nakuri akime mituo ya gusave messages icio na matididitaga message ya 2007 irio thimo-ini ugithie wira ukamihinguraga ukaigua uru ngoro wanyandikire uguo niki. Why you mess yourself up? Tell your neighbor it's in the small things. The good morning. When was the last time you told your partner good morning? Good morning, guy. This your guy. Jabo ya guy. When was the last time you appreciated your wife's cooking? When was the last time? Uga wakuni kurito. Kamutumia watweraga dutware workshop kanitha gatwira gwake. Aturite ahikite. Na miaka 30 kihiko-ini na mahikania muthuri wake amwirire so oniguo riri wao muthuri akihaicoreria arora na guku wa sandals igire ikukirora mwana uyu kana slippers muthuri uyu erire mutumia wake ngiukira rucini ngakoraga slippers ici garoritwo such that no rende ikaragira ngekira slippers gathie makwa. Mutumia uyu atwiraga if for instance the husband goes to bed after she has gone to bed, she has to wake up in the middle of the night agarore slippers issue nigetha itikana korirorete na goko. Some women were saying no, that is slavery, how can you do that? And she said, I looked at it as a way of showing my husband love and appreciation. You've never thought about that. .com sikora hiyo ni kukaribo. How you see it. How you see it. And she's doing that happily, and she has done that for 30 years in her marriage. Listen to this. Between April and July of 1994, Flori wa Rwadare, want to wrap up. Okay, Gira, being one of the worst humanitarian crises to ever happen in Africa. Hutus, Lorena wa Hutu, they are about 85% in Rwanda. And they slaughtered, they killed an estimated 1 million Tutsis. Listen to that, 1 million. And by the end of the genocide, the country of Rwanda was divided into two. When President Kagame became the president, he led something that he was calling truth, justice and reconciliation. Dorema thia Rwanda manathi andu aria moragirwo hindi iyo mahindi mao makoragwo maigitwo in a museum. It became a tourist attraction, of course for the wrong reasons. I want to talk about the greatest story of forgiveness, why you cannot forgive those people in your family. So this peace and reconciliation process that was spearheaded by Kagame, people are supposed to madikinganga hatukite muheranire ugeni ni doragire bariangania na ndaho ya majohere. So there was this man who tuzimetaga tutsi spiders na mudoyo umwe ni athire mucii umwe, and his main mission was to kill the entire family. And when he got there, he slaughtered the mother, the father, children, about 4 of them. And there was a girl who was screaming so much. Ona idenia kuwa nyina ciana ciao ni cioragwo na muthuri uyu muraganire. He resolved tondu kairitu gaka ni kadakaria muno ri, I am going to kill her last. Na ndikumuraga one touch. I'm going to kill her by cutting pieces of her body bit by bit. And that is what he did. Akiajia na twara kairitu no karauga kirega tututoki akirega karogo gaka, went to this one, cut here. You can imagine that pain. Already the government forces came, and they started shooting in the air, and this man ran away. He took off. So this girl did not die. So making anga in the truth and reconciliation. Kairitu gakiro no muthuri uri akiruga mamuragani akiuga nie nini doragire family yangania, and he kairitu gaturaga kahontaga my spirit tondu dimenyaga kani gakuire, and my main intention was to torture this girl to death. What I don't know is whether this girl died, and I want you to know, whether you are here or not, I am so sorry. And even if she died, I want her to forgive me wherever she is. This girl shot up from somewhere. She went over to the podium and hugged this man. Hugged this man. And she declared publicly, I want the land that belonged to my father to be given to this man. And I want this man also to take over the house that belonged to my family. The true meaning of forgiveness, and also the true meaning of doing things that you have not thought through. This is a true story. So they moved in together. They lived together. Why are we not able to forgive each other? Why do we choose to carry baggages? And these baggages are blocking us from becoming the best that we should be. What happened to the true meaning of love? I want to wrap up by saying this, that we have to show tolerance with each other. It is in the small things. You'll see a totally different picture of who your wife and who your husband is. Kuthuri mamathire workshop na goko Kiambu Road mena mutumia wake. Na marikia workshop mutugatiri wa maragiria kimera. No ega muthuri na mutumia magathiaga nja once in a while makanyuanira gacai na gasoda na gacoffee. Na muthuri wagetua na ngoro yake ndainuka, I will plan and I'll take my wife to Mombasa. Kundu maririda matwaritwo na ndiuga ni megucoka. Na makorire ku ndiuga ni megucoka ni nyirahagia mare nacio. muthuri akiuga na ndikumutwara na muthithi ndikumutwara na bathi ngumutwara na ndege tondũ muri atumia ni maragia 24,000 words 25 no mwaka irethira makinya makuhĩrĩria rudari nigetha makinyere ngari yao ĩgĩthũkĩra hau na muthuri akĩhũrĩra mechanic thimũ mechanic okari akimera ngari ĩno wenda wega nĩndamĩthondeka but it's very temporary mwenda wega mũtuĩkanĩrie runda thĩinĩ tondũ nĩ kũrĩ shortcut ikoragwo kũu nĩgetha mũkinyange mutumia rĩarĩ rĩa mbere gũtuĩkanĩria runda thĩinĩ ndarĩ athiĩ rĩngĩ akiona nyũmba thaka muthuri rĩu ena meciria marĩa megũkinya mũciĩ na ena stress na anxiety no ndarahota kwaria mutumia nake no nyũmba ararora akĩanjia kwĩra muthuri wake ici nĩcio nyũmba, these are the houses. Athuri arĩa makagira atumia ao nyũmba ta ici acio nĩo athuri aya angĩ nĩ gũte. Runda nĩ kumaga ngari nditũ cia hinya na nyingĩ itoragwo nĩ atumia. Ũgacomoka atumia ũkona ũmwe nĩ acomoka gũkũ ũngĩ gũkũ, mutumia akona atumia magĩtwarithia ngari erage muthuri aya katarĩ wa athuri. Athuri arĩa magũragĩra atumia ao ngari ta ici aya nĩo athuri aya angĩ hatirĩ. Imagine wĩrĩtwo ũguo na gakari gaku kauma gathũku magĩkinya muthuri aha nĩ kwĩricũka gũthiĩ Mombasa no tondũ arĩ mũhonoku nĩ arathiĩ matu-inĩ na njĩra ya kwĩrira na nĩ ainaga kwaya nĩ mũangirikani akiuga niĩ no ngamũtwara. So mũthenya wa Mombasa ũgĩkinya nĩ wacio Jumbo Jet na makĩingĩra na magĩthiĩ. When they got to Mombasa, kĩũndũ kĩrĩa kĩarĩ ngoro, if you're sitting next to a man, ĩra mũthuri ũcio wĩrute kũrekagia maũndũ, mwĩre ũguo tu wĩrute kũrekagia maũndũ. Kĩũndũ kĩarĩ ngoro. Makinya Mombasa rĩ, andũ matigĩkĩraga magoti ta maya beach-inĩ, mekĩraga tũ sandals, kaingĩ na kaingĩ mathiaga membea fito ngĩamonire aya marĩrinda na tũnyatha na ndũngiuga nĩ mekĩraga nyamũ ici ciĩkĩragwo, you know. So you walk, na gũtuĩkaga that walking on sandy beaches when you don't have shoes is very therapeutic. Amen. So they were walking there. No mũthuri no araririkana kĩũndũ kĩrĩa kĩarunda. O rĩmwe rĩ agĩciria atĩrĩrĩ, kaita ngĩrĩhĩria nyone ũrĩa gũgũthiĩ. No, ĩndĩa wĩna maũndũ. So kwarĩ na atumia mĩthemba mĩingĩ mena, andũ mekĩraga bikinis na swimsuits. Muthuri akĩra mutumia wake endatarĩtie ndakĩmwĩra atĩrĩrĩ, hi. Sasa hawa ndio wanawake, these are the women. These are the women. Tarora pori awina bikini ya yero, ũgwĩciria muthuri wake ikenaga atĩa. Rekei ndĩmwĩre, niĩ ndigwĩciria nĩ macokire ndege ĩmwe. Brothers and sisters, in our families, there are some battles that are not worth fighting. Choose your battles wisely. Please choose. To the young people who are here, I see so many of you in campus. If you are below 25 especially, before you think of even getting into a relationship with someone, first of all, ask yourself, what has this person got to offer? You have taken the bar too high. I like the skit that was done by these young people. You get to know a person when he's seated on the other side of the table. You don't get to know a person inside the bed sheets. No, it doesn't work that way. You engage with this person, your whole perception is going to be interfered with. You lose it. Build yourself. When this man asks you out, fine, go for a date with him. But put him on the table, ask him, what do you have to offer? What are your favorite colors? What do you know? But what is your favorite food? Morie, give me a 5 years plan. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? And let me remind the young people who are here, all answers are not found in Google. Listen to your elders. Listen to your seniors. One day, you realize that swag. One day, when you're almost my age,
you will figure out something. That swag does not pay bills. It doesn't. You need a husband who can lead you and show you the way. Young men like me, we meet beautiful, sexy women, sexy girls, beautiful. But even a sexy, beautiful body grows old. One day you need a woman you can sit with and discuss business ideas with. So see beyond the beauty. Because even beauty fades, doesn't it? It does. Listen. And to all of us, brothers and sisters, it is in the small things. It is in the thank you. It is in the I love you. It is in telling your husband, I believe in you. Thank you for being a great provider. It is in telling your wife that was a beautiful meal. It is in encouraging your children. Appreciate them equally because they are all children of God and they have a right to be here. Please, let us refuse to die premature deaths. You see women, they form groups, they go. When was the last time men went out somewhere to just have fun without discussing tough things and tough situations? I'm looking at balcony, but we have never even sat in those balconies. The people who are coming to plan for your funerals are the ones who are sitting on those balconies enjoying that. How sad is that? Take time to walk around even in your compound. Don't take life sometimes too seriously. Hamudhuri mwa engage guy egwake akimwira guy agari mwendukora wo serious. Ugiota kubatia kimutike ikorofia gikinene gicoke giciarage tutunda tunini na irenge nini na rirakura kinyamu kinene agagai agituma agai akienda kumuruta lesson agituma mundu uyu akome rungu rwa mukorofia o mukorofia ucio eraga ngai uhoro wagu akoma etorori kamukorofia kamwe gatari keru komunga kakigwa gakimugutha mutwe haha na kihituka kina kira ngai ngani dauguku ngani derisuku da imagine kone irenge ryo mabuto yo maigoro ria gotha gwicire igiatemera Kenyatta. You see, when you are stress free, you are even able to engage God and have a conversation with Him. Nimwe Sienna is smiling for more than 50 times in a day. They laugh for more than 50 times in a day. And that is why the Bible is telling us, let us be like who? Children. When you stress, akilisi ya kwikwiraga atedahi gamuragoyo kahora doko higi koge katia. Because human beings are capable of having two sets of thoughts. Rational, straight thinking and irrational, crooked thinking. When you are stressed, you think in a crooked way. And you project that stress to others. Let us be each other's source of happiness, source of joy. Okora mutumia mutinoka naki, mwadikire ka message. Don't be a typical African man. Ati dakwirie ni gwedete twahikania kwagarorokani ukamenya. Nadikani digokwira. Don't do that. Let us learn to love unconditionally. Because it's such a beautiful thing when brothers and sisters live together in harmony. We produce more, we do more. American Embassy to session here wellness. Everything we do is dependent on the state of mind we are in. If you're in a good state of mind, you do more. If you're not in a very good state of mind, you don't achieve much. Love is kind. Love is patient. Love does not keep a record of what is wrong. Love uplifts. Just hope and pray that today is going to be that day that we learn to give each other the gift of love. Someone said, you only live once, and that once is enough if you live well. When you look at yourself, are you living well? Ask your neighbor, are you living well? God bless you.